Welcome back to Shattered but Unbreakable. Have you ever tried so desperately to operate autonomously, build your life, pay your bills, heal your heart, only to feel like an invisible hand is still holding your head underwater? You can see the surface, but you can't quite reach it. You're fighting for air, gasping, clawing, thinking, what did I do wrong? Why can't I just breathe? It's a terrifying mix, drowning and suffocating at the same time. That's what financial sabotage feels like. It's one of the most insidious forms of abuse because it hides behind paperwork and procedure. It wears a polite smile and a corporate logo. But what it's really about is control. And control is the oxygen of abusers, the lifeline they never want to lose. Today, we're naming it, we're stripping it bare, and we're talking about how to rise through it.
She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down.
That was Warrior by Alita Langford, my sideline sister in gut health, whom I love and adore. I am so grateful to have her blessing and permission to share this song with you all on my podcast every week. Because these lyrics, they're not just music, they're medicine. They're the heartbeat of every woman who's been knocked down, counted out, and still found a way to rise again. This is for every woman who's ever been told she's too much, too emotional, too broken. For every soul who stared into the ashes and thought, this is it. I'm done. But she wasn't. She stood up anyway, bruised, battered, shaking. She rose one trembling breath at a time because warriors aren't born in comfort. They're forged in fire. This conversation is for those warriors, the ones who've been silenced, sidelined, or financially strangled by someone who called it love. And if that's you, stay right here with me, because this time we're not begging for air. We're remembering how to breathe again on our own terms. For years, I lived the story so many women do. Just sign here, babe. You trust, you believe, you think we're a team. You hand over signatures, account access, decisions, and pieces of yourself because love taught you that trust was the currency of connection. And then life changes drastically. You find yourself standing in the wreckage of what you thought was partnership, discovering things you never wanted to know, things you can't unsee. You learn that love without transparency is manipulation. You learn that being kept out of the loop was never protection, it was disempowerment. And for every woman who ever handed over her power in the name of love and later realized she had to fight to get it back, this is for you. I didn't just learn this in adulthood, I inherited it. I watched my mother live it. I watched my father say, just sign here, Al, over and over and over again. And she did, because that's what she was taught a good wife does. The husband speaks, the wife listens. That's normal, right? So when it happened to me, I didn't even blink. It felt like love to trust that much. It felt like respect to stay quiet. It felt like normal to sign whatever was slid across the table because that's what I'd seen my whole life. But normal doesn't always mean healthy. Sometimes normal is just a generational wound that no one has healed yet. It's learned behavior passed from mother to daughter, woman to woman, wrapped in words like loyalty, obedience, and love. And breaking that cycle hurts. It feels like betrayal. It feels like you're abandoning your upbringing, your family code. But you're not betraying them. You're freeing them. Because every time one woman stands up and says, no more, she heals backward and forward in her lineage. The moment you start questioning that script, you're already rewriting it. You're already beginning to breathe. That's why I wrote my ebook, No More Just Sign Here, Babe. Because those 4 little words, just sign here, babe, nearly cost me everything. I wanted to hold a flashlight for every woman who's been taught that silence is respect, that surrender is safety, and that handing over your power is just how love works. It isn't. And you don't have to keep living by someone else's script. I didn't write that book for revenge. I wrote it for redemption, for understanding, for healing, for every woman still gasping for air in a life she helped build but no longer recognizes. You start questioning yourself. Am I greedy for simply wanting my home? Maybe I am overreacting. No, you are not greedy for wanting safety, stability, or a roof that's yours. Greed is taking what's not yours. Healing is reclaiming what was. The abuser's sharpest weapon is confusion, keeping you doubting your own reality. But once you name what's happening, the fog begins to lift. You start seeing the paper trail, the manipulation, the requirements. You realize the system may feel rigged, but it's navigable. Once you stop gaslighting yourself, you stop apologizing for existing. You start strategizing for freedom. Let's talk about power, the kind no one can take once you claim it. Separate your money, even if it's just a prepaid debit card. Create a financial space that's yours alone. Document everything. Keep records, emails, statements, text messages. Abuse hides in chaos, but proof brings order. Call the systems, the mortgage servicers, the banks, the utilities. Say the words domestic financial abuse and watch how fast policies change. Get support, legal aid clinics, domestic violence, trauma-informed coaches. You are not alone in this. Speak it out loud. Shame thrives in the silence. Power grows in truth. You don't need to know every step to start. Let me tell you, I sure didn't. You just need one act of courage today. Sometimes the bravest thing you'll ever do is whisper, "This isn't okay." And that whisper, that single breath, is the moment you stop fighting for air and you feel like you could start to breathe again. You are not greedy for wanting your home. You are not weak for feeling tired. You are not broken for still being in the fight. Financial sabotage is real, but so is your power. The truth is, you don't have to keep gasping for air. You can learn to breathe again. I've been there. I've lived it. And I've written about it. No More Just Sign Here, Babe was born from those ashes. And if it speaks to your heart, it's because it was written from mine. You can find it wherever books are sold or at sparksuccesscoaching.com. I'll leave the sites in the notes. Remember, you are not just a survivor of financial sabotage. You are the architect of your own comeback. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes, you will rebuild. You will breathe again. You will stop drowning. And you will rise higher than they ever believed you could. This is your time to rise. And this is Shattered but Unbreakable. I'm Vicki Lou-Ann, your coach. And we're going to close out with Alita Langford's Warrior. And you can listen to the whole song. It's magnificent. It's empowering. It's magical. Have a beautiful week, everyone. And send me messages. Put a review. Subscribe. It helps me to know what you want, what you like, what you want to hear, what you want to learn about. All of those things. Send it all to me. I'd love to hear your stories. See you soon.
A warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, a crier, she ain't gonna lose this round. She is a warrior, yeah. She sees a way and it ain't paved. Rubies of gold. Gonna train her mind, gotta keep her in line, keep her eyes on the Lord. She's ready to battle, gonna take that enemy down. She fears no evil and holds in her ground. She is a warrior, ain't nothing gonna slow her down. She is a warrior, she's taking this battleground. She is a fighter, a crier, she ain't gonna lose this round. She is a warrior,
You are stronger than you think, braver than you feel, and more capable than you ever imagined. So embrace the struggle and know that with each step, you are becoming the person God created you to be, a warrior.
Here's